Big up, everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to another match reaction. Arsenal win 4-0 at home over the vaunted Wigan Athletic. League One Wigan Athletic.
Uh,
It is what it is, man. Like the second
yeah.
half was a snooze fest. We'll talk about it, but big up everybody in the chat. Make sure you smash the like, comment on the video afterwards or during. Play along in the chat. You know how it goes over here, people. Dal, how you doing, bro? You good?
Great. Yeah. What a pretty butter of a game, bro. I don't know. Kind of like I was telling you, I backstage, I dozed off for about 15, 20 minutes in the second half. But other than that, can't complain. Eze actually did something against a League One team. Yay. I don't
Don't
know.
talk shit. Don't talk shit on my number 10.
No, he's my number 10
I was
too.
joking. I was joking.
I got faith in the kid. But actually, my prediction was 4-0.
Right on.
I actually called that. I thought it was going to be closer down to 6 or 7 at halftime, but nah, 4-0 is good enough. I mean, it is what it is. Where are we supposed to really analyze? Like, I thought we did everything great in the first half, and the second half was pretty boring to watch. It's kind of like we put the handbrake on again. I think there was a couple opportunities there.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that was to be expected. I mean, they are not that good, but no disrespect. We are where we are. But yeah, I mean, their striker could have scored one. That would have changed things a bit in the first half. If he would have put that one just a little bit to the right side of Kepa, then we're talking 4-1. So
Yeah.
maybe we come out and get another one just to kill him off even more. I'm not sure, but it was a good performance though. I guess.
Yeah, that was the one chance that I remember. I mean, overall, really good performance in the first half. Second half, big up Hugo in the chat, by the way. First half, man, it was they were just giving us tons of space, and when we start passing forward, that's what you can get out of this club, in my opinion. I mean, the starting 11 was about what you would expect. One thing that I saw there that didn't end up actually happening was Arteta was planning on playing Miles Lewis-Skelly in the midfield, and then what happens? Another training injury or another warm-up injury. Ricardo Calafiore, Mr. Underwear model. I don't know what happened. They provided no details on the injury, but he had to hit the medical table. They moved Norgard into the midfield and then MLS back to left back, which again, just out of everybody that was on the pitch, he still looked mad shaky, man. Like I don't know. The jury's out for me now on Miles Lewis-Skelly after watching him play today, and everybody around him played really, really well. Saka in the 10, that was interesting as well.
Let's see it some more.
Yeah, like it was. I mean, you'll never see that against a Premier League side or a side in the Champions League. He looked good, but you'll never see that again. Eze was fantastic today. Passing forward, God forbid, I didn't even know we could do it, but I guess against Kazakhstani champions and League One teams, we can pass vertically, but the rest of the time we're gonna play U-shaped football. Big up Logic in the chat as well.
Big up Logic.
I mean, that's just what you can do, man. Nani Madueke was just having a fucking ball on that right side. He was incredible today, immense. Gabriel Martinelli again showing his levels. I mean, he was just running his ass off. Gabriel Jesus I thought was good, but he took way too many touches in that first half. I think we probably could have had 5 or 6 in that first half if he wasn't taking touches. I mean, there was early in the game where he was just kind of dancing in the box, him and Nani Madueke both, where they could have just taken it with their left foot and scored, but instead they were taking way too many touches. I really want them to stop doing that. It was kind of funny to see the dichotomy where you see Nani and fucking Gabriel Jesus taking so many touches in the box, but then when the ball goes outside of the box and Eze has one touch on it, he's gonna fire from the lowest percentage area imaginable, right? It's just kind of it was just kind of odd for me to see, but man, like, look, we knew what this was. We had him beat in the first 25 minutes. I think in the second half, we just kind of we let them have the ball. If I'm being completely honest with you, as soon as they hit the midfield, we were all over them. I don't recall one really good chance that they had in the second half. So, I mean, again, this was a walkthrough. We knew exactly what this was going to be. I'm just glad we didn't. I'm glad we didn't concede. Number one, and a couple of the youngsters got to see the pitch. I mean, you saw. I mean, he was taking the piss at the end there. He put subbing out Kepa and putting in Tommy Setford at the end. It's just like what the fuck.
Oh, right.
I mean, I get it,
Uh,
and he went out there and he had a good 5 minutes, whatever. He had to
right.
go out there and grab the ball once. But I mean, again, like we knew what this was. Like I do want to talk about this match a little bit, just certain moments. But I think what's more important is the league form right now, and
Mhm.
I don't think this necessarily has any um not to sound overly negative, but I don't think this necessarily has any this is not necessarily a momentum getter. Like you're not going to
No,
look at this and be like, "Hey, we're going to pick up momentum and we're going to go into Wolves and smash them." No, they're going to play a low block and it'll probably be a
right.
really really tough watch if I'm being completely honest. But
100%. Yeah, I think once Wigan got 10 men behind the ball in the second half, it was pretty dead
mhm.
after that. I mean, they tried to come out and play. So like I said, good effort on Wigan in the first 25 minutes at least. And like I said,
Yeah.
their striker had an opportunity there that really should have happened, right? Kepa with a great save, but at the end of the day, that was God, if that guy just had a little more to the right of Kepa, we're talking a goal. Norgard hate is an illness. That's very true, Benito. But
Who's hating on Norgard? He was one of our best
uh,
players today.
right. I've given some hate to him, and I also mentioned on this show that Arteta will never play Lewis Skelly in the midfield. Well, guess
True.
what? He did it. He did it.
True.
Thanks to
He did.
California making my prediction still maintained. But no, is it something to take away from and get the wind behind our backs and stuff? I don't think so either. I think that this conclusion to the FA match was what everybody expected. It was just about how many. Like I said, my prediction overall was 4-0, so I got it right. But I mean, again, it was looking at 5 or 6-0. I don't think that when we play against Wolves, even we're not going to have the channels that Eze was being able to create today,
No.
right? So my biggest gripe is I put it in, I think the Gooner Lounge chat. Where was this hunger against Brentford? Right? Where's the hunger against Brentford? Big up, Doc.
Big up, Doc, man.
It's yeah, it's Wigan versus Brentford. Massive difference in levels, right? They really are, because Brentford's, I think, 9th in the league. Obviously, we know
Yeah.
Wigan's in League One. So there is that, but the hunger is still missing, right? City went out and won 2-0 against, was it Salford City? Big deal, right? But they're more on a win streak. And let's talk about Gabriel Martinelli for a second. He had
Sure.
15 goals in all comps in 22-23, right? That was one of his best seasons. He's got 11 now, right? So this was a guy we were talking about selling in the summertime, going to Saudi, etc. I think he's kind of made a statement. I mean, not even today was a statement game, but I'd say he made a statement today. But I think if you look at his goal tally, overall, it's more than Trossard's.
Yeah.
Right. I thought going back even to the Brentford game, you could have started Martinelli. Like, I don't know what this kid's doing wrong. Not that he's doing anything wrong, but Arteta's kind of given him, I think, the treatment that he's kind of given Eze at the same time. And we know Eze hasn't really fully bedded in yet, but what are you going to do? You're going to score a hat trick and then you get pulled for 5 games.
Yeah.
So I think with Martinelli, that goal will give him a little more confidence. And I think that we should start him from here on out especially against Wolves.
It was a hell of a
Trossard didn't
finish.
do anything against
I don't care.
Brentford,
I don't
bro.
care who you're playing against. That was a hell of a finish.
Yeah.
He's one of the best finishers in the team, bar none. Like you can say what you want about the rest of his game, but he can put the ball in the back of the net if you give him a chance. Like
100%.
I'm with you. I don't want to see Martinelli go. I'm going to be very honest with you. There's a lot of people and doubt, like it's February 15th.
Right.
And we're going to be talking in 6 months or less about selling Martinelli because this fan base is ridiculous. You have to look at the rest of the left wingers in the league and say, you know what? Martinelli is good utility minimum for this club. I
for
think coming
sure.
off the bench, he's been fantastic for us this season. I think it doesn't go. I think it goes understated, to be honest, because of how good Trossard has been. Like
Right.
comparatively, if you look at form, Trossard has been our best left winger, but Martinelli really hasn't been all that bad. I mean, if we're honest, um, like if you're gonna aim the gun at somebody, you might as well. I would take it from the left to the right if we're being very very honest with ourselves.
Right. Would you take the gun to the middle as well for Glock 14?
Well, the fact that Glock 14 Glock 14 hasn't started to play until the calendar year 2026.
Hmm.
Yeah, but then again, I don't necessarily blame all of it on Victor Gyökeres. If I was, I would be taking the piss. We don't play centrally. That's the whole
Right.
issue. Well, not the whole issue, but it's part of the issue. One part of the issue is that I don't think he's that good of a footballer. He's never going to create something out of nothing. And number two, we don't play centrally at all unless we're playing against a Wigan or unless we're playing against a lower Champions League side, right? Like we played. Who did we play
Iraq.
first in the? Yeah, when we played Kairat, when
Yeah,
we
Don
played
Steve.
when we were playing. Who did we play in the fifth or in the third round? Who was it?
Portsmouth.
Bolton, Portsmouth. Yeah, when we were playing Portsmouth, like, come on, like we only do that when we're given space, and we're given a ton of space today, and you're not going to see that against Wolves. You didn't see that against Brentford. And look, like I do want to talk about the Brentford game a little bit. Big up Don C in the chat. I'm convinced that any team that plays a low block against us, we will just continually struggle to break it down. And the
Right.
only way we're going to try to break it down is going to the wings and putting in crosses and trying to get something going there. We'll never do anything centrally, and we'll be set piece FC. That'll be it. That'll be it. And it's going to be a horrible watch. Just like Brentford was a horrible watch. We deserve
Mhm.
like we were lucky to get the tie. If I'm going to be completely honest with
Yeah.
you, I did go back and watch it.
Yeah.
We were lucky to get the draw. Do I think it was 2 points dropped? Absolutely, because at this point we should be going into places like Brentford and actually taking the 3 points away if we're going to be the champions like that everybody thinks we are. But the way that the game played out, we were lucky and we were lucky to get a point and get out of there. And it doesn't necessarily. It's not necessarily, like I said, it's not necessarily motivating or a momentum
Right.
gatherer, in my opinion.
Right.
Like I don't. If we were playing anybody but Wolves and Spurs, I would be worried. But I mean, come on.
Right.
Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, having Spurs having the new manager bounce. I mean, we know Wolves start off with Wolves. You know they're going to put 10 men behind the ball, right? So we have to figure out a way to carve out our chances with that. And number two, against Tottenham, I think, I watched some Serie A, and I'm not exactly 100% like knowledgeable about who this Tudor guy is, but I think they made a decent decision.
okay,
Like they didn't go like backwards too far. And I think what this guy will bring is probably a little more defensive stability since he is a coach in the Serie A. It is a name that I never would have thought of, I guess, going there. So I think there's a little mystique behind that. And that mystique will lead behind those players as well, right? They're like, who is this guy? Maybe he looks like a serious character, shaved head, menacing look
yeah,
to him. Like he looks kind of the real deal Italian style manager. I think he was at Juve before and got the shaft, but Juve's kind of been in a mess themselves. But I think
yes,
this is an interesting signing, and I do think they will have a slight manager bounce. I do think this won't be a Tottenham that will make the mistakes that they did under Frank, right? I mean, he had 2 wins in 17 games, dude. I mean, it's hilarious. It is.
it is.
But
It
I'm
is.
not I'm not putting off the Spurs game like it's going to be just this, 4-0 Wigan thrashing, right? Even though that's
Okay.
what we'd all love to see. I just don't I just think that we need to find that hunger for goals like we did today against any opposition, right? They can still play those passes, but if the center back gets a foot in before that in the box, that happens, right? And that's what we talked about before, dude, is about taking these risks, right? We want Eze to make those passes. Yes, if it gets intercepted, that happens. That's football. But you have to continue to make those, line busting through balls that the striker can get a foot on, or a winger can, move centrally to come across and get a foot on and put it in near post. I just want to see that hunger for the attack, right? That's all we've really asked. Like we've said many times, big up Anthony, my hero.
Big up Anthony, man.
Yeah, well, let's talk about we can talk about Saka on the right. I don't think that's as a 10. I don't think that's going to happen again.
No, I don't think it'll happen again. Big up Anthony.
It might, but I think that'd be something different to see. But along with these injuries, and I want to get to this point as well, if we were really ruthless, why didn't we have the Yildiz deal done in the first week in January? Why weren't we able to get the Tonali deal done at the end of the window, make contact with Newcastle at the beginning of January, right? And those are things that make me believe that we still just aren't there yet. And I know Yildiz actually signed a new contract at Juve, and Tonali was going to be very hard to get, right? But when you go in January 30th, right? When you go in January 30th or 31st and expecting Newcastle to say, oh, okay, take one of our best players. Like, it's just not, it's unrealistic, right?
Right.
And so knowing that Nwaneri goes out on loan, bring in Yildiz. Knowing that we have an injury crisis in the midfield with Moreno, Odegaard, etc., and even Havertz at this point, make the Tonali play. That's what I say. We got to be proactive in what we're trying to achieve and not reactive so much anymore. And that's what we've always been. And I know these two signings aren't something that, is really the icing on the cake for us right now in this moment. But I think those two players, if we'd done properly, if Berta would have had maybe his ducks more in a row, that we could have made plays for those players and enhanced the squad and give ourselves more confidence going into the back end of the season. The more I think about it, those are the things that just drive me up the wall, because City was on the forefront. Semenyo done second week in Semenyo was done before the first week in January.
Semenyo and Gehi, they as soon as they were linked, the contract was on the table. Yo, big up Flawless in the chat as well. Big up my guy.
So and that's where I get the up is that we're not proactive. And I know the January transfer window ended 2 weeks ago, but we've been talking about Yildiz for a year now.
Yeah,
we could have made a play for Tonali in the middle of the window to give Newcastle some time, right? Because I think they would have taken a $65-70 million bid for him, maybe, right? Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. I think
not after yesterday's deal against Villa.
Talks were more. I think the talks were more centered on the summer transfer window. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I never believed for 1 second that we were going to bring anybody in. I was very pissed off that we and I was very vocal about this as well, so everybody knows. I was very pissed off that we sent Nwaneri to France. I understand it. Big up Connor, he's here. Let me get him in here. Yeah. No, I hold on. Let me get
Connor's got a new must be for his
I'm currently on. Do I sound all right, by the way?
Yeah, you sound fine.
You have your OnlyFans account.
I'm currently on the old MacBook. I'm at my girlfriend's right now. So
okay.
Shouts to the girlfriend.
So
yeah, just real quick, and then I want to get Connor's idea on this. No, just like I was saying, I was super upset about the sending Nwaneri to Marseille. I thought that was I understood it because maybe he gets more time down there. I mean, he's competing with Greenwood for time. I thought under De Zerbi that would be good. That would be a good move. But De Zerbi immediately leaves 2 weeks after he arrives.
Right.
So I don't think that necessarily is going to end up being a good move for him, and I don't think it was a good move for Arsenal as a club to begin with, because what do we know about this club at this point in the season? The injury bug will get worse if it's ongoing, and if it hasn't bitten yet, it will. And what happens? We lose two of our midfielders. We lose Kai Havertz again, and Odegaard, when he's not hurt, his form has been awful. So I'm more in the why are you doing this, Mikel? When you have the players there, why are you not playing them? Like I would have loved to see Nwaneri in the 10 today. Instead, you're putting out Bukayo Saka, who's just coming back from an injury, and Wigan Athletic at the end there were a couple of dicey challenges. Like you saw the challenge on Gyökeres, you saw the challenge on Trossard, and they were both limping. So, like, these are the games where you could have played him and you didn't, and now you're risking players that we need on the run out against Wolves and against Spurs and against whoever we play after that, right? Chelsea, fucking, Chelsea, Man City, we have big games coming up still. So again, like I never thought we were seriously going to bring in anybody in the winter transfer window, but again, I'm still looking at that sending Winieri to France with the side eye.
He could have easily played
really,
today. Could have
dude,
easily played today.
yeah, and I'm really just I don't want to be the guy that says I told you so at the end of the season, because if I say I told you so at the end of the season, that means we lost again and we're trophyless again. But anyway, Connor, what are your thoughts on everything, man? Big up everybody in the chat, by the way. Smash the likes. Yeah, Common Sensei in here taking the piss already. I appreciate that. Big up Common Sensei every single time. But yeah, Connor, how are you feeling about this game and just Arsenal overall, man? I mean, easy day out. But how you feeling?
Listen, in no disrespect to Wigan, they were 22nd. They're 22nd in League One. Unless we had a massive mess up, I didn't expect us to lose today. I actually expected a scoreline like this, 3-4-0. It's a shame that we couldn't make it an absolute, battering. Like what City done to Salford last year, where they battered them like 10-0. I wish we could have seen a bit more of that. I think the players definitely put the handbrake on after 4. They were like, right, okay, we've done our business here. And in a sense, I don't really blame them. They probably don't want to overwork themselves. I know Wolves isn't obviously the biggest of games. However, with our result against Brentford, it is now crucial that we get 3 points, even though it is an away day. And we know how crap Wolves have been this year and how many teams have beaten them, and they're last for a reason. But if we beat Brentford, I'd maybe be a bit more sit back by it. But the fact of the performance we had and the fact that we can go 3 points, we have that 3 points on City for a while until I think April or March, whenever they play. Which is their game in hand? Is it Newcastle? Their game is Newcastle, right? Or is it,
I'm pretty sure. Let me look. Let me look. So I'm not lying. Let me look.
Talk about City's game.
Yeah, is that their game in hand? Newcastle.
I think I heard that from the announcer.
It's a Saturday, so it can't be. Maybe it's Nottingham Forest. I don't know. Well, either or.
No, it's Newcastle.
Is it Newcastle? Okay, interesting. So yeah, well, listen. Either way, we still get that little bit of game in hand. It's adding that pressure. I mean, personally, for me, I actually don't think, as a lot of people I've been reading into saying, if we get 3 points against Wolves, it puts pressure on City. And I'm thinking, well, in my opinion, I don't think it does. I think if it was the other way around, it put pressure on us. I don't think City are that bothered with it. City are proven winners. That squad still has Premier League winners in it. They're not there's not like the whole squad from a couple of years ago has disappeared. There's still a lot of those players in that squad. I don't think it really bothers them. I don't think they see pressure like we do. I think we are still very, very guilty of feeling pressure in situations when we shouldn't really be feeling it. So either way, it's still a big game on Wednesday, and I like to think we're going to win. If we cock that up, boy, oh my God, there'll be meltdown. And I don't want anyone telling me, it's all right. We're 1 point ahead. We're all right now.
It's okay.
Even I'm losing my cool. How people are still like, we're 4 points. Right? I'm like, we've literally been here this time last year. We've been in this exact same position. We're this amount of points clear. We're going to be all right. It's a load of absolute bollocks. I personally don't agree with it. We could have been 9 points clear by now. If anything, and we go on about how underdogs, pressure, etc., etc. If anything, the boys have put more pressure on themselves now than what they would have done anyway. If we were 9 points clear, the boys would be cruising. Now They've got more pressure on themselves, and now they're going to be overthinking everything. But listen, it's waiting to see. We're going to take it game by game. The only reason I'm still less hesitant than I would be is because anyone can drop points this year. City aren't, although they are chasing us, and they are definitely the team that I think could take the title off us. I don't think Villa will. I think they have their inconsistencies. As much as, City have been great, they have their flaws, and they can drop points still. You never know. Newcastle had a fantastic win yesterday against Aston Villa. I know they were 10. Obviously, they lost a man and their goalkeeper to a red card, but still, great win for them. And Tonali was on form. I like to hope that they're going to bring that form to the City ground. You never know; it could be a draw. So there's still points to play for, and I'm still hopeful. And obviously, we've got the Champions League as well, and we've got this competition. And obviously, we're on a good run, but I want the boys to be consistent now, because although Brentford were fantastic the other day, they really were, and in my opinion, they actually deserved the 3 points. I think they deserved that win that day. They were fantastic.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
We shouldn't be in this position anyway. I don't think we should be in this 4 points clear position. So we bring it to Wednesday. The boys were great today. I expected this performance. For me, I know Odegaard, I don't know what's happening with him. I know he was limping off against Brentford. I don't care if he's back fully fit, 110% on Wednesday. Eze starts on Wednesday. I don't care.
Facts.
You have him on a good run already. Yes, it's Wigan. I get it. And I don't, although it was a great performance for him, it doesn't set the standard for me yet. I still think he's been very poor. However, the way we've been playing him, where it's like, you've played, right, you're off now for 5 games, you're back again. You can't do that with a player like that. I want to see him now seeing, can he take that form against Wolves? And Wolves aren't great. They're really shit. They had 1 shot on goal against Grimsby Town. I'm not having that. We can't be doing that now. 1 shot on goal against Grimsby, and they got the goal, and they did win, but still. I know Grimsby beat Man United, so they're a big team. So they're out here really knocking out 2 teams. So, listen, it's very important. And I think, good win for the boys today. And I do agree with your point. I didn't hear your reaction on it. Sorry, I literally just hopped on. But on your points on Yeri, TJ, I completely agree. Why we got rid of him is beyond me. We know what we're like with injuries. And obviously we don't have the option to recall him. That's not an option. So we've got to deal without him. And I do think, a game like today would have been perfect. We're out here playing Saka in the 10. Whatever we were doing today, after Calafiori he had a knock in the training.
Knocking the warm-ups.
Today would have been perfect for Ethan. And I think Ethan would have started anyway, if he was here. And now he's on the bench. The new guy who's come in from Marseille's got him on the bench now. So it's just all gone tits up, really, because obviously De Zerbi's now left. So it would have been, it's a shame, and it would have been good to see him start today. But, listen, we take this performance into Wolves. I like to think the boys are going to walk in confident. There's no playing after City, so none of this bollocks about pressure. We know what we need to do. We know we need to go to the Molineux and put in a performance. We know they're going to sit back. I now like to think after that performance on Thursday, where we had to break down a really tough Brentford defence. Really tough.
Yeah.
I really gave them their flowers after that. I thought we'd be able to get a win there. Really gave them their flowers. They really put in a shift. However, we're going to be playing against another low block Wolves side. It's going to be a low block countering. That's all it's going to be. They're not going to look for possession. They're not going to look to play tiki-taka. They're going to sit back, try counter. And with their attack at the moment, selling Strand Larson, I don't see much threat from it. However, I ain't walking out there with no 0-0. We're not doing that. Go in there, 3 points. How about actually play the ball through the defence like we did today? I know it's Wigan and they were crap, but you can see we've got the player to do it. Some of the balls that Eze were playing were fantastic. And again, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, because it is Wigan. But that first goal was so good. That pass was great. And even the second goal was great as well. The assist was fantastic.
It was incredible.
So I would really love Arsenal to do more of that. Want to see more balls going through the defence. Take these defenders on. We've got a physical striker in Gyökeres. And I know, obviously, TJ not his biggest fan, though a lot of people aren't his biggest fan at the moment. But he is a physical striker. And I want to see him getting more involved against defences. And I think the more we play this U-shaped football, crossing in balls like we did against Brentford, there was no aim to go through the defence in the middle of the centre-backs. Do that more, and you might see more opportunities. We can't keep lobbing in balls, hoping and praying it gets knocked in. Because do you know what makes me laugh? If that's really our tactic at the moment, to lob in balls, the fact that we're not even getting majority of them on target and onto other players in the box, what are we practicing in training then?
Right.
So,
that's what I said before you hopped on, Connor. If Eze plays those passes against Wolves that he did today, and the center back gets a foot in and intercepts it, that's fine. It's the risk taking that we want to see, right? It's the risk. It's just at least playing the ball through the channels, trying to get it up to the striker, and you never know what's going to happen, right? The second goal by Martinelli was fantastic, and it was a great pass by Eze. And I agree with you. That's what I want to see more of too, regardless if it gets intercepted in the box. That's football. That's going to happen. But you still have to take those risks to play those balls through, or else it's just going to be, like you said, a horseshoe-type football. Or you're just watching them pass it around in front of the 18-yard box.
You said earlier, so I did recall you said line-breaking passes. I completely agree with you. We need more of that.
I want to see this. I want to see us play more centrally against Wolves and Spurs.
Do you know what? I think do you know what it is? The players want to be safe. You can't be doing this in title races.
The manager wants them to be safe.
Yeah, you can't be playing safe in title races. You have to have those moments of madness. Right. Give it a go. Give it a shot. Take them by surprise, because now a lot of teams know what we're going to do against them. Take them by surprise. Give them something new to shout about. And I think the player and I definitely think that these games like today, you can see the players have more. You can see the players have more enjoyment out of it, because they get a bit more freedom to do what they want. And I think Eze had a lot more freedom today. Yes, there were times where, again, you could see him standing in the 10 area and you think, can someone pass to me, please? Can we get something here? And everyone's going a bit slow. And yes, we're slow. Yes, we can be a bit lethargic with our football. And it's not enjoyable. I know a lot of rival fans like to complain about it. But at the end of the day, we're top of the league and in a cup final and top of the Champions League. So that's what I reply to them with. But in terms of winning games of football, crucial games of football, you do have to have those moments and you do have to change it up. And we've got the facilities for it. We have the players that can do this. Right. So I want to see more of it. But either way, I actually do think we're going to slap Wolves. I really do. So I'm going to be looking forward to that, and hopefully we don't mess it up.
Yeah, my biggest. So while you guys were talking, and great points, by the way, we brought up the run out, or somebody in the chat or whatever was bringing up the run out, and how Man City are going to win and all this, win the league and all this stuff. Man City have a very easy schedule. I just want to put this up. They have Newcastle at home, and then I don't see them dropping points until possibly April 11th or April 18th.
Yeah, Chelsea away.
That's a big thing. And even saying that against this Chelsea side right now, you look at this Chelsea side and you think consistent. Man City will run right past them. And Cucurella might be injured for a long period of time. Like they're struggling with injuries as well. I'm of the opinion that we cannot lose one game in the league the rest of the season, and I'm being dead serious about that. We have to win out, and I know people are going to say, "Hey, TJ, that's impossible," especially with this Arsenal side. But if we're being completely honest with ourselves right now, we lose one game, bad draws. We lose one game. It's Man City's. And that's, I can't believe we're saying that after we had a fucking 8-point lead again, and I'm not going to say we bottled it yet, but you got to consider, the football that we're playing, and you look at how Man City pulled that out of nowhere against Liverpool. I mean, these guys just know how to win, and I'm not gonna big them up too much, but we've seen this before. We've seen this fucking movie before.
Yeah, and I don't know, and TJ, I don't know why Arsenal fans are so oblivious to this. Yeah, they wrap their head around this hopium thing.
We're going to continue to see it.
They're like, it's 4 points. And I'm like, well, we literally done this the season before last season. 1 point, Aston Villa. We won that game. We won the league, but we didn't. And people have to look at this game against Brentford. And I guarantee you, if we do get to the end of the season, we don't have a Premier League title in our hands. I guarantee you, if not this one, a future game, we'll look back and think, that was the one game. We get 3 points. We won the Premier League title. Yep. So that and that's why Arsenal fans. Listen, there are some Arsenal fans that do go a bit over the top and think, fuck this. Like I've still got hope that this team can do it, because I do believe this side can win a Prem if they actually put their minds to it and bullshit all this pressure out their heads and actually act like grown men and go for it. Because there are some serial winners in this team. We know that. And it's some players of experience. Well, this ain't no 21, 23-year-old squad like we had 5 years ago when we were getting all these youngsters. These are full established internationals now. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we have a starting 11 of internationals.
Exactly, and players that have won in those internationals as well. They've won finals, etc. They've won trophies. So I don't want to hear none of this. This and that, 4 points, blah, blah. No. No more bullshit now. If we do lose a game coming up, we've got to take that seriously. And none of this overreacting thing. We're in a title race, people. We're not in a top 4 race where you can drop the odd point. It's all right. We can fight again. We can still get this amount of points to get top 4 or top 5, whatever it now is, to get Champions League. We're fighting for a Premier League title. One slip up costs you massively. And I'm hearing points from people who have said, well, I've watched Premier League races back in the 80s and the 90s for Arsenal, and you have these moments. But I don't want to look back then. It's a completely different game now from what it was back in the 80s.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Completely different ball game now. Completely different. We've literally seen this exact same scenario for the last 2-3 years when we've been trying to fight for a league title. And where did we end up? Second. But what I like to reiterate my point is, we've seen teams drop points this year. And that's the only thing that's making me not lose my rag when we didn't get points against Forest, the 0-0, the Liverpool 0-0, and now the 1-1 draw against Brentford. That is the one thing that's pissed me off from getting 3 points out of those games instead of 9, which is actually disgraceful, by the way. And if you really look at it, and that Liverpool team, we should have beaten them. They sat back the whole game. We should have beaten them, but we didn't. That's the one thing. Teams can drop points, and I like to think, and although TJ, I completely agree with you, it's a pretty decent run for City going up to Chelsea and going up to the cup final against us. However, we've seen some slip-ups. Brighton, trying to think of some other ones now.
I just don't see where they slip up, man. That's
Yeah, I know.
that's my biggest
Yeah,
problem.
no, I know.
And this is the mentality that I'm talking about. And I want to get Dal's thoughts on this because I think he's going to agree with me. Like Declan Rice saying, I'm glad you put this in here. Common Sense say big up. He says after dropping points on, I believe that was on Thursday.
Yeah,
when we dropped points against Brentford, he says, if you can't win a game, then don't lose. We're still 4 points clear at the top. I disagree with this mentality. This mentality is what loses us leagues every single season, the last 3 seasons in a row. So I don't want to, and I do see, and this is what's really fucking ridiculous, is you see some of the happy clappers in our fan base, and we do shows with a lot of them, and they're our bros. We really like them and all this stuff. But I saw a couple of them, Connor, coming into the chat and being like, "Hey, that was a point gained." I'm like, hey, fucking excuse me, excuse me. Like, what are we fucking talking about here? And you see Man City going away and doing what they need to do, and we're dropping points in Brentford. And again, G-Tech is a very, very hard place to win a game. That's just the way it is. Brentford have stayed in the Premier League. I'm not taking it away from Brentford, but title winners win those games. Title winners do not bottle it on a set piece after fighting for a 1-0 in a game that was not going your way. Let's be completely honest. So it's that mentality of the fan base that will continue to make us fucking cocks the rest of the season. And what do you think, Dal?
Go ahead,
Dal.
No, go ahead, Connor. Okay.
I was just going to say, I definitely am. Listen, there has been a lot of uproar since the draw. You've had fans who, like us, who have been disappointed. We don't want a point. We need 3. And then you've obviously got the other side of fans that are like, no, back the team, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, we are backing the team. People who are saying we're not backing the team, even though we're angry with the result.
Idiots.
Grow up. That's not the case. We are backing the team. We just expect more. And we know that this team can get more. So let's not do that. And I don't like out and out names, but I did see it, and I was really disappointed. And it was AFTV. I was watching Robbie's interview, and I do like Robbie, and I think he is a great guy. But there were fans that are approaching him who have practically the same opinion as us. They were disappointed. It's not good enough. We should have got 3 today. And Robbie was right. It was a very tough Brentford side, and they were very good on the day. However, if you want to be champions, you've got to beat these teams. You have to. And yes, you do have these slip-ups, but I'm not having the slip-up excuse anymore, because we had that against Liverpool, we had that against Forest, and now we've had it again now. 3 times in a row we've had this slip-up excuse. You get these in title races. No. That's 3 points out of 9. If it was against Forest, I get it, but that's 3 points out of 9, where we could have got 9 and we got 3. And then I'm hearing Robbie say, well, if we do win the league, I don't want you to celebrate in May. Don't come to the parade, because you're acting
fuck off. Fuck off.
That's quite low. That's quite low, because we were in points where I was even looking back at when we were losing to Burnley. When Xhaka, the grab of the neck and being 15th. And I look back then and I did see Robbie saying, get rid of him, this and that, And fans are going to have negative points. Not all fans are going to agree. I don't care if you want the manager been and gone or you want him to be here for 15 years. I don't care what opinion you have. I don't care if you want every single player sold, because I don't agree with that. But if we do win the league in May, I want every fan there. I don't care if I could pick out every single Arsenal fan all over the world. I'd want them in North London on that day. I don't care if it fills out all the way till the end into Scotland. I don't care. I want every single Arsenal fan there. And I don't agree with if you do have a differing opinion and you do believe that the boys should have got 3 points on Thursday, like we do. You shouldn't be told that you can't be at a title parade.
I just think it's so funny coming from him. Go ahead, Dal. No, go ahead.
The Robbie stuff is bullshit, But I got to be honest, guys. I thought the wheels kind of fell off against Forest. I was livid against the Forest game. I thought that one in particular. I mean, there's like 17th. They're 17th, you guys. I mean, it's just like, come on. Like, what are we doing? I just, and I've said it. I'm going to get slayed for this again. I know it. If we win this title by 3 points or less, I want him sacked. I'm going to celebrate for 2 weeks. I'm going to coordinate with TJ on plane tickets, and I'm going to a parade. Fuck Robbie, right? And I'm going to go hang out with Colin.
Nobody's telling me I'm not going to a parade for a team that I've been pouring my fucking
We're going to stop at Nando's just down the street from the stadium, go get us some peri-peri chicken, and we're going to a fucking parade. Right? Regardless. As I said, Connor, all fans deserve this. All fans deserve this. Who's Robbie to pick and choose just because you're critical thinking against the manager and this ownership regime that you're less of a fan. That's just such fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But I just think that I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to back this manager after lifting the trophy. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, you win it. Who cares if it's 1, 2, 3 points? And I get that argument, but it has taken us another additional 6 years to get where we're at. And to lift the trophy by, let's say, 2 points is not convincing. Not convincing to me, bro. It doesn't, it speaks, I've said this 100 times, it speaks of Leicester City vibes. It's like, yay, Arsenal won. Social media goes crazy for a couple weeks. We have a great, hey, so far. And then comes July 1st. What are we going to do? And if we find ourselves in a position of 4th or 5th in November, December, and then we decide to sack this manager, which I know is crazy thinking because they're not going to do it anyway. But if they were to do that, I would rather them sack him in the summer and bring in a new manager who can get a tune out of this squad and has a preseason and can get a couple of new players in. I'm dead serious. I don't have any faith that we can sustain a long-running small dynasty under this manager. It was what I want to see. I don't think winning the Premier League trophy is enough. I don't think it's enough. And I know that just sounds insane, probably, Connor. I know the vibe around London's a lot different, right? People, like, I've got at it with other fans in our chat and stuff saying, what are you talking about? Who cares? You win it. And I get that to a point, but I just don't see this being a continual thing.
I agree with you. I agree. I don't agree with the Prem thing, like the 2 point. For me, if you win a Prem, you win a Prem. But I do agree with the point of, if we win a cup double for FA and Carabao, but don't win the Premier or the Champions League, he has to go. And
100%.
It's brutal.
Right.
However, the reason I hold such dearest, especially more to the Premier League and the Champions League, and I know that's quite outright because we've never won Champions League, but the reason I'm more closer to the Premier League, I know we were obviously in the semi-final last year of the Champions League, but this Prem, Liverpool last year, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Remember that? Going to their grounds? We have to deal with this banter. We finished second now 4 years in a row. For me, it's not acceptable to do it for 5. Was it 3 years in a row? Sorry,
no, it's 3. It's 3. This will be 4. This will be 4.
For me, it's not acceptable, especially in the position we've been in. We all thought Liverpool were going to be the team this year to battle it. They obviously fell off a cliff, and now it's back to being City again. For me, it's inexcusable. As much as, yes, I will be the one that I will be there celebrating if we do win the Carabao and the FA, but I won't lie to you, and I can definitely say this with my whole heart. If it did come to the end of May and we had those 2 trophies in our hands, but we didn't have a Premier or a UCL, I'd actually still feel quite empty, in all honesty, because of how long we've been fighting for this title. It's not like we've just popped into the title race all of a sudden now. We've been doing this for 3-4 years now. Right. And in the position we've been in again this season, it's like we've been on the underdogs. We've been 6-7 points behind, and now we're all of a sudden catching up. No, we've been the front runners, and we still are the front runners. You can't. I don't like to think as a man, he could sit there and think, I've done a good job. I've been in this fighting position and I've messed it up again. I've gone second again. I can't carry on. How can you do another year of that?
Well, remember when he said he couldn't even look in the mirror 2 seasons ago, remember? Oh, I can't even look at myself in the mirror now. I maybe I should quit. And there was a whole thing about that we had to go through for like a month. I
do think he definitely holds standards. Yeah, I agree. Arteta holds standards. I know he does. Yeah. I know he loves the club and he obviously wants to win. Of course he does. Any fan that thinks he doesn't want to win, of course he wants to win. But I don't personally think he could sit there come the end of May with no Prem in his hand and he'll be happy. UCL, obviously, I'll take the UCL.
I think you completely underestimate how much this fucking manager loves himself and thinks the world of himself. Like he can go out there and be like, oh yeah, well, I can barely look at myself in the mirror, blah blah blah, whatever, dude. What do we know about this manager when things go wrong? He can go out there and he can give the biggest bullshit gaslighting press conference you can see. Like, and if you think that stops, I like how he says he's a great gaslighter, yeah. no, I didn't even see that comment. And before I said it, but if you think that this guy's hubris can't outlast one more season of only a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup and no UCL and Prem, man, I'm sorry, I completely disagree. This guy has an ego, and he will continue to do what he thinks will be best for this club, even though it'll be another 2 years before we see a major trophy. And I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I don't see the Kroenke sacking him, because you have a ton of money coming into this fan base still. We're one of the top producing revenue teams in the world, not in the Premier League. I think we're third in the Prem and like fifth in the world or something like that. I don't know. It's around there. And it is because of the cult of personality that this manager has built around himself and the players that we have. And don't get me wrong, they've given us some really, really great moments, but we need the two biggest moments that we can have, that Liverpool have celebrated, that Man City have celebrated. Shit. Even Newcastle and Crystal Palace has celebrated. Like, we need these bigger moments, and he has not provided it yet, but he will continue to ride the mediocrity. And as long as the dollars keep coming in, the Kroenkes aren't going to give a shit. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of this fan base who are hotel chair merchants, who are always the bridesmaid, never the bride people, who like writing, and I'm sorry to say this, and I'm going to go in on our fan base now. Like, there are members of this fan base, and a lot of them that we talk to in this group, in our group chats and shit like that, who are just fine being the underdog, who like being the scrappy, never quite get there kind of people. And I fucking hate it. I can't stand being in the same room with these people sometimes. And it's not you, Dal, it's not Connor, but I see plenty of people out there that whenever, that are just agenda merchants, that, whenever Gyökeres finally scored his goal, it was I told man merchants, right? And I know you rate Gyökeres, but that's just an example, right? We have a lot of fucking cucks in this fan base who will continue to be the underdog and embrace that underdog mentality. Fuck that. I want to be a champion. I want to be able to go into these group chats, go into American Waffle, go on Husam's channel, go on all of these channels and be like, fuck you, I am a champion. But the mentality of the fan base, I believe, seeps into the mentality of the club overall, and we will continue to be the underdogs. But that's just who we are.
Part of being that champion, if we win it, we're going to hear from all the Arteta haters, right? All the Arsenal haters are going to come out and they're going to say, well, again, you were up and you lost and you balled it, but you barely made it. Like, we're going to have to listen to that for months, right? They're not going to, it's not like we're going to be acknowledged as these like champions. Let's be honest. It's going to be like Arsenal finally got it over the line.
Yeah, or everyone else was shit.
And here's on the other side of the coin, though, I will say this. On the other side of the coin, though, if we win this league and people start saying, "Oh, this league was shit," I'm going to go on the biggest offensive you have ever seen in my entire fucking life. Go fuck yourself. Fuck yourself.
TJ, all we need to respond is this is what we need to say. So why couldn't you win it then? If it's that easy.
Yeah. If this league was so shit,
that's what you got to say. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care if Man United are in the biggest drop of their life.
Dude, they're already doing it. They're already doing it. Connor, they are already fucking doing it. I'm telling you right now.
Don't get me started on Man United. Honestly, don't. Because it's stress now because they've all of a sudden discovered what winning means.
Right. The guy still needs a haircut. Yeah, he does, right, Connor?
I like how they drew. I like how they drew a game. They drew a game against one of the worst West Ham teams we've seen in years since they got relegated. Right? They drew it, and all anybody could talk about was that fucking stupid kid and his stupid fucking haircut. This is what Man United is now. Like, I'm sorry, people like big up our friends who are United fans, but your most popular player is a fucking content creator who hasn't fucking washed or cut his hair in fucking months. Like, give me a break, bro. Fucking idiots. Hey, Saeed. I love when he does this shit.
No, I just like I said, we know we're going to get this kind of flack. We know these comments are coming, right? And that's why I say, like, let's have some balls. Let's say, Arteta,
yes, exactly.
You finally did it. Congratulations, Arteta. You finally got it over the line. With one hand, you're shaking Arteta's hand out the window. The other hand, you're shaking Luis Enrique's hand coming in.
Okay,
right?
Luis Enrique is the only one. You say Luis Enrique, but he's not coming. Like, he's not coming. I'm sorry, he's not.
Okay, no, I just put any big name you want in there, right?
I'm with you. I would love
Nice.
Luis Enrique at this club.
Thomas Frank's hand then? He loves Arsenal. Let's bring Thomas Frank in.
Thomas Frank, though.
No, I'm just saying that if we had real standards, because we've seen Chelsea do this, we've seen Real Madrid do this, we've seen Barcelona do this. They win. We saw Spurs do it with Ange. They win something and they say, "Thank you very much. We finally got over the line. We achieved what we wanted to achieve for that season. Here's your bonus check. Here's your handshake. We're moving on." You know, I know that sounds wild. I know that sounds wild to a lot of fans. I know that sounds like, what? Your manager just won it for you. Did the manager, if we win this, is it the manager's doing? Let me ask you guys that, and our friends in the chat. If we lift this Prem trophy, is it the manager's doing? Or is it the players finally realizing, oh shit, we were 8 or 9 points up at one time. We better start playing football now and make things happen. Maybe as he starts playing balls through the channels. Maybe Odegaard can shoot the ball outside the box, right? Maybe Saka won't just go to his left foot and try to put it far post and be greedy. Maybe Madueke won't fall over his own shoelaces, right? And so I think what we're saying is we're always given this like, oh, the manager got it over the line. This manager couldn't draw a pencil line over another line on paper, let alone get this squad to it. The more I think about it, bro, we're going to lose this by 1 point. We're going to lose this fucking season by 1 fucking point. And the fan base will still be behind Arteta because we're still second. We're still there. We're still close. And maybe we lift the Carabao Cup. I just don't see like winning at one time and then finishing fourth the following season, which could happen, right? Or third, as being like this miraculous run we're going to go on. Because the data that we've had with this manager the last 5.5 years says different.
I'm with you. Connor, you got a jet, bro?
Yeah, I got a bounce, guys.
Big up, man.
But yeah, we'll move to Wednesday, and we'll take that on. Fingers crossed we don't mess that up. I don't know why. I think it's Brentford that's bothering me. I'm thinking, fuck, I hope we don't go there and just.
Oh, Forrest had me fuming, bro. Forrest had me.
Yeah. Forrest had me looking over my shoulder.
They're going to sit back, and we've got to figure a way to break them down.
Yep.
None of this keep U-shaping it, waiting for something. Stop lobbing it in. And I know we're going to get that, but I hope and pray because Wolves have been that shit that we can get past that. But Mikel has to figure a way to beat a low block. He has to. Unless all the boys are doing is doing tiki-taka, having a laugh in this training. They have to be training for low blocks, getting past it. They have to, surely. But yeah, bring on Wednesday. Good win for the boys today, and we'll find out who we get tomorrow in the 5th round. Fingers crossed it's another crap team. We can get closer to that final.
Yeah. Maybe it's Newcastle. Big up Newcastle. What a performance against Villa.
Good evening.
Scoring 6. Arteta's got his eye, mate. I'm telling you. Scoring 6.
I hope so. Tell Moreno, bring in Finelli. I'm all for it.
All right, big up, Connor.
All right, big up, Connor.
Big up, man. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just so frustrating, and things like Robbie saying if you're negative, don't come to the parade, and then you have other people. It's so frustrating. And look, let me pivot to what you were saying there, Dal. We have a team of players that many would consider world class. I think Declan Rice is world class.
100%.
I think there's a certain Gabriel is world class. Saliba is a lot of people would consider him world class.
He's in the French national team.
People consider, and again, Bukayo Saka has not had the greatest of seasons, but a lot of people consider him world class. He starts for England every single fucking match.
Right.
So does Declan Rice. You have backups like Nani Madueke, who are likely going to end up going to the World Cup with England. You have David Raya. You have Spain's starting goalkeeper or close to starting goalkeeper, depending on the day. You have Trossard, who starts for the Belgian team. You got guys. You have to consider, to your point, Dal, the players are there. So
Yeah.
if Arteta doesn't get a major over the line this season, he has to go. And to your point, if it's by 1 or 2 points, I don't think it's going to matter. But if we win a domestic cup double, give us the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, and we lose the Prem and we lose the UCL, he has to go. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
And I can't I just don't see it happening. Unfortunately, that's the worst part.
Right.
That's the worst part.
No, it's not going to happen. It's all wishful thinking for sure, especially if he wins the Prem. Like you said, even if it's 1, 2, 3 points. I just don't want to. It's Leicester City vibes to me, bro. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
yay, they finally did it after 20-some years. It's like, okay. And then the next season, we're fighting for a top four battle. Like, come on, man. And
I think we'll be in title contenders no matter what. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. The quality of player in the squad. I think there's a lot of managers out there that could get a title charge out of this team. I'm going to be very honest. Honest. King of the universe, calm down out there. Calm down.
Yeah,
I see you, bro.
a little saucy there, the
Jesus
Sean
Christ,
Dyson.
bro.
God dang.
Yeah.
Get a
Good
girlfriend.
Lord,
bro.
I don't like timing anybody out on this channel, but Jesus Christ, give it a break. Give it a rest. We get it. Anyway, and I agree with Tom. Common Sensei. I think he survives regardless.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to look at the hockey's going to look at this as a mild success, right? Just like they've looked at the last three be in second place. It's like, oh, well, we see progress because you were 5th and 8th and 8th and 5th. And, oh, what we forgetting about the time where you were 19th and Tottenham were top of the table, right? I just think that that we know for sure that no past season dictates the following season. We know that, right? That's just clear as day. You can't sit here and say the 26-27 season is going to be, ABC. Like, you just can't predict that. You have no idea. If Isak is fit, Liverpool's a different squad. If Florian Wirtz gets a whole, has his first full season in the Prem, which has been a shit show, but then comes back, better, more educated of how Slot or whoever their new manager may be. Slot could get the sack in the summertime, maybe, but doubtful, right? That some of those players that have been on the sidelines through injuries and so forth or really lack of playing time because it just hasn't kind of fit whatever club's narrative to define this season in particular, right? That they will be better and they will come again, for lack of a better term.
Jesus Christ. I tried, King of the Universe, I swear to God, I tried. I tried with you. I tried so hard. Now you got to hold the timeout. I tried so hard. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this guy, I'm going to give this guy a chance. And here he comes.
Spicy.
Jesus Christ.
God dang.
Anyway.
Somebody needs a release, if you know what I'm saying. Go to Pornhub, buddy. God dang. Go to the men's Pornhub. It sounds like you're a little obsessed.
He's a little spicy. Jesus Christ. We all tried. We all
tried. We all tried to help the handicap, but not today. No, I think my stomach just turned a little bit with that last comment. So I'll let the wife know that Odegaard's after her. No, I think that I just, fuck, man. I just cannot get behind just winning this thing by 1 or 2 points or 3. I just can't. Again, we'll celebrate. We'll coordinate plane tickets so we can get our asses to North London for the parade, possibly, which I would love to do, by the way. But I don't know, man. I just think that there's better out there. And I know Luis Enrique is kind of just, it's just a big name. When I say that, I mean like 4 different managers. If we had any balls, we would have gotten, like I said before, Yildiz and Tonali deals done to lock up the trophy, essentially, right? To have some very good players, actually bring them in, make those drastic changes, because Moreno's done. I don't even want Moreno back next season. I think he's just too hit or miss for me. And I hear what you're saying, Sensei. I mean, he's all right, but it's just not for me. We can do better, especially if Tonali's on the transfer list, essentially. But I just, I guess to sum up, like today, great win, but we need to see and our attacking mids play those passes through the channels more. And like I said, a center back gets their foot in there at the edge of the box or something, or the 6-yard box. That's going to happen. That's defending. That's what you kind of expect them to do. But if you don't take those risks, you can't get those rewards. And there's no reason why we shouldn't beat Wolves 4-0, why they should be treated like Wigan. right? That's the whole thing. They've had about 2 points. They had 2 points for like a month and a half or more until they got another draw against somebody, and then they drew against us the following game, I think, and then they went on to win. So I'm not like you. I'm not too worried about Wolves, but if we draw them, that's a massive.
No. If we draw against Wolves, that's game. I hope people know this. This is why I said at the beginning of the show, or earlier in the show, we cannot drop points. We have to win out.
At all.
And people are going to say, TJ, that's fucking ridiculous. No, go look at Man City's run out and tell me I'm being ridiculous.
Right.
They've
got a lot more home games than away games for sure.
Yeah, and just look at the quality of opponent. And that's all you need to see. I think they have Chelsea. I think they have Chelsea and they have us. The rest of them, they're going to be beaten very handily. We have Brentford away, which we struggle with. We have Bournemouth at home, which we've struggled with. We have we have Crystal Palace away. Brighton. Yeah, I think I said Brighton. Did I say Brighton?
You said Bournemouth.
Oh yeah, Bournemouth. We have Bournemouth, Brighton. I mean, we have clubs that we have historically fucked up against. Right. And I was feeling confident earlier, like before the Wolves fuck up, or not Wolves fuck up, before the Forest fuck up. But now it's just like, man, now we're looking over our shoulder, and it's going to be nervy the rest of the time. And you know what? Of course, it's Arsenal Football Club. They can never make it easy on us. They can never make it easy on us. Why would they? Why would they make it easy on them and easy on themselves? And just to kind of wrap up, I heard there was a rumor that they had a player meeting, and the players got together and said, "Look, boys, we gotta do this. We have to have the confidence to get it over the line." Blah blah blah. Okay, show me now. You have to show me now, because otherwise it's all lip service, and all we've got in the last 3 seasons is lip service. And we have the best squad ever. I think, and I'm going to be honest with you. I've been saying this for months, and I'll say it again. We lose this season, it'll be the worst one. It'll be the worst of all of them.
Yeah.
It'll be the worst.
Because we actually brought 8 players in the summertime. 8 players that he wanted.
He wanted that were of quality.
Right. We can hype up the rumor mill and say, Eze and Gyökeres aren't Arteta signings. That was all Berta, blah, 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 bullshit. It still has to get cleared by Arteta. He still has to do his review of the player. He still has to do his analytics, right? And he's not the end-all, be-all of every single signing, but he's not going to turn away Europe's top goal scorer, regardless if it's a Portuguese. He's not going to turn away a top English player in Eze, who's at the prime at 27 years old, who just won a FA Cup, right?
Right.
I just... to think there's like all these like Arteta signings and Berta signings, bullshit. They're Arsenal signings at the end of the day, right? Yep. So I just feel like again, the writing was on the wall for me against the Forest game. That was a massive letdown. We had to get those 3 points on that day, and I think you're right. We need to win out. If we draw, the only game I think we could draw, we might even draw, is the City game at the Etihad. If we draw that, I wouldn't be surprised, right? I'd be upset that we didn't beat them, but I wouldn't be surprised if we drew. We absolutely cannot lose, though, right?
That's the one. If we lose, we're done. If we draw, we're not done. But we're done, because you look at the City's run out, and it's easy for them. And of course, they still have the FA Cup. They have us in the Carabao Cup final. They have the Champions League. They're going to make an effort of it in the Champions League. But again,
I know.
You look at what they have. You look at their squad. You look at our squad. You look at their bottle versus ours, and at the end of the day, it's Pep Guardiola. It's Erling Haaland. It's Donnarumma. It's Donnarumma who can put his clown nose on every so often. But guess what? He's a champion. He's a Champions League champion. European champion. Yep. So, yeah, man, it's long, but we'll talk about it on Wednesday after the Wolves game. Hopefully, we can break them down.
I'm taking Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off. Well, I have Monday off anyway because of President's Day, but taking Tuesday and Wednesday, just need a break, man. It's been just a long few weeks at fucking work. So,
yeah, dude. I took Friday off because I'm with you. I'm with you.
Are you feeling better though? I know you've been feeling sick the last couple weeks.
No, the last couple like Friday I wasn't feeling good. Today or the last week I haven't been feeling great, but now I'm back on it. So we'll be back this week. We'll be back Wednesday. Friday is tentative because I'm supposed to go to St. Louis damn it. But we'll we'll talk it out. But anyway, big up everybody for joining. Smash the likes, smash the comments, or type in the comments. I guess you don't have to smash the comments. Don't smash your keyboard. But throw in those comments on the video afterwards. What do you think? Do we need to win out? Do we have the bottle to get it over the line? Would you fire Arteta even if we did get it over the line? Do you agree with Goonie? Do you agree with Judge Goonie? Let us know. Big up everybody. I will be live on American Waffle on Monday. And then we'll be hopefully live with a match reaction after we beat Wolves at the Molyneux. But
I will
until
be here
next time, Goonie, any last comments?
No. I thought Eze was brilliant today. No real last comments. No, I thought Eze was brilliant today. And then last comments are we have to take risks to get the rewards.
Facts. All right. And until next time, people, up the Gunners. God help us the rest of the season. Later.